What's up, E? We are live. Welcome to Smoking Barrel. We're live on we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube today. We are missing a valuable team member. She was unable to make it, but we have Luther Ross, also known as the Riddler.
What's up? What's up?
We have Charles Wilkerson, also known as Whiskey Tango Charlie.
Hey guys.
And then myself, Brian Huff, here at Smoking Barrel.
Also known as Beef.
Beef. I am Beef. Been Beef a long time. Robert Connors, thank you for calling me Beef Wagon when I was 8 years old. So there you go. Got short to Beef. So today we are pairing McKenna 10-year with the Rocky Patel number 6. So we got a great pairing here. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. A lot going on right now. So we're excited. We're excited. We got the NFL Alumni Association Golf Classic, the Queen City Classic that I'm going to talk about that we played in on Monday. Very exciting time. Had a bunch of the guys coming over to the bar. Man, that was fun. It was 106 heat index.
Oh, wow.
That is not fat boy friendly. That is really fat boy unfriendly. Sarah, and we had a great time. We had a lot of our staff out there driving around on the golf carts with the NFL alumni guys. And, it just went great. Raised a lot of money for the Shriners Children's Hospital.
Shriners Children's were the...
yeah, they're the beneficiaries, yeah.
That's great, man. That's really wonderful.
Adrian Morrell, hats off to Adrian. Adrian is in charge, I guess he's the chair of the North Carolina NFL Alumni Association. So it's he's put upon to do this golf tournament, which has a lot of moving parts.
This is their second year doing that.
Second year at Pine Island Country Club in Charlotte. And they've done a tremendous job. A lot of the guys show up, man. They're traveling all over the country to come support.
Right.
And the Shriners are partnering with the local Shriners.
Well, it's the Greenville Shriners Hospital.
The Greenville, but
but local Shriners come in. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, God. That's
so
awesome.
so we had a great time. They have a great silent auction. We raffled off, the opportunity to play with certain players. Corin Robinson, there was a gentleman that I want my son to play with Corin Robinson. And so he bid on Corin, got that, and they rode together, and they almost won.
Oh, wow.
They came in 19 under par because this guy's son almost drove every par 4.
Wow.
Frank Garcia's team won again this year. 49. He shot a 49.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for any golfers out there, I just want you to take this in. I'm just going to present it as objective information. You make your own conclusions. Okay, they had 5 eagles. There's four par 5s. Okay. And the rest were birdies and shot 22 under par with no mulligans. Just say it. Last year, they won the national championship. Okay, so you have to win the tournament to be invited out to the Nationals. And I don't know, I think it's in Las Vegas.
Right, wow.
We shot 16 under, which is a really good score.
Uh-huh.
With no mulligans, that's really good.
Okay.
But we can't compete with that. So, great time, though. It really didn't matter. They had great food and just, guys, I'm telling you, get involved next year. It's a great opportunity to meet some really nice people who happen to be just larger than the average person and played great, are great athletes. Played great in the NFL. Mary Bloomquist, who we work with here at the bar, the city of Mount Holly works with, she got involved. She found out, hey, these guys would like some assistance. She put on this slideshow with everybody's picture on it and name that was signed up from the NFL. She took everybody's biography, wrote down, most of these guys played for more than one team.
Mm-hmm.
So she did all that and was very instrumental in the success of the golf tournament.
That's wonderful.
So she stepped up, and hats off to my wife, friend Aaron, some others, Sierra here at the bar for driving the golf carts. So,
Big time.
Now, how big?
If it was just a little cooler.
yes, ma'am, and she will do it again next year.
How big of a role did cigars play in your golf tournament?
So so the night before is when they had the auction and the player pairs. And it's a silent auction with pictures and all this. So afterwards, we provide cigars for the guys.
Okay.
And we sit out back. Mm-hmm. And that's really the best part of the 2 days, really. Because that's where you get to see everybody. Craig Thompson was there. He comes to the bar all the
Right.
time. Mike Delaney. I mean, there was a lot of great guys who were there. So we had a great time with commiserating over cigars. And there were 12 guys out there smoking cigars.
Nice.
Had a little bourbon, a little cigar, so it was great.
It's a good time.
It was a good time. Good time had by all.
Nice.
So that's because the day of the tournament, everybody's.
Yeah,
So-
you know, and then afterwards you have lunch and you get to, talk smack about how you played and who was what and where, all that.
Right.
But really, when you're that hot and sweaty and tired,
Everybody's.
but a lot of people came back to Smoking Barrel. We had the after party at Smoking Barrel. We're normally closed on Mondays, but we opened up on Monday. Sierra and Savannah, her sister, came in and worked and had a great time.
Right.
And this, you don't get this crowd just every day. Well, T. Crocker in the house.
Satin.
T.
Hey, T.
T had something come up, so she's coming to join us right now.
Man. So that's good. The fact that great group of people having a good time, raising money for a great cause. I mean,
Right.
geez.
Right. It's all about the kids.
So win.
I mean, it's just
Can I
yeah.
have a cup, please? Glass.
And the
Yes.
guys just like they say they're coming out there to have a good time.
Right.
But I've been around these things before because
Uh-huh.
we've done some work for some at some of the previous years, and they're competitive. Them,
Oh, yeah.
them boys are. I don't care that competitiveness never leaves, right?
They're on a different plane. So Larry Griffin was our pro. Larry is a consummate gentleman. He played at North Carolina. He was leaving to go to Pittsburgh when I came in as a freshman. I met him in the locker room. That was the only time I'd ever met Larry Griffin. He went on to have a career in the NFL, then went to Duke Power as an HR director,
Okay.
and then went from there to the Carolina Panthers as their HR director. I think it was 8 years,
I'll take that.
but just a really just super
Okay.
human being. And I picked him to ride with my wife. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was selected.
You have to be selective with the wife.
Yeah, but so if you ever meet Larry in here when he comes in, laid back, soft-spoken, nice guy.
Wall. Moving wall.
But when he gets on the golf course, you talk about competitive. Those juices start flowing, man. He's all over.
He's on it. Good stuff.
He didn't play as well as he wanted to, so
That's what
he was able to contribute as well. I mean, he did.
Okay.
But we just had a great team. I had my friends, but all of us grew up together, played ball together, and good friends, and so that makes for a good day. So good cause. Shriners Children's Hospital is awesome.
yeah.
So we are smoking the Rocky Patel number 6, medium. Call it a medium. I call it a medium.
It's stepped up from last week. Little bump up, not dramatic, but a little bump up.
So it's at the Rocky Patel factory in El Paraiso, and that's in Honduras. 93 rated cigar aficionado, so we're talking serious quality cigar. Honduran grown Corojo. So Corojo is going to be that more premium cigar leaf. Core blend of Honduran and Nicaraguan filler, Best Cigar Honduras 2020 by Cigar General Cigar Aficionados, number 9 cigar of the year in 2020, and again 93 rating. So why is named number 6? So when crafting a new cigar, the group that cured tobacco into smaller sample groups in an attempt to isolate the finest sample possible, each group is given a number, and in this case, they were so captivated by its flavor that the name stuck. Thus, with a little help from serendipity, the number 6 was born. So that's how it happened. So there you go.
So it's not a series like a 4, 5, 6. It's just a number 6.
They have
I like
an
it.
A10,
Yeah.
right? But they don't have
Wow.
a 7.
Right.
Right. So
So kinda
what we
like-
drinking, Charles?
Goodness.
You know what? This was a sleeping giant for a long time. The McKenna 10-year, the Bottled and Bond, and I mean, when I talk about it, it was a sleeper. Nobody picked up on it. Nobody bothered with it. And I mean, I could tell you probably back in 2016, Luther, that bottle right there was like a $30 bottle.
Really?
Yes, $30. Today, that's a $50 MSRP. And I'm talking MSRP, not marked up. And then you get over here in the secondary stuff, people paying crazy money for that one right there, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a bottled and bond. Obviously, the bottled and bond, the requirements are it
Right.
must be at least 4 years old. So think about that. That's a Heaven Hill. This is from Heaven Hill. But it goes to 10-year. They're pulling this out at 10-year. Now, it's 10-year. Could it be a little bit older barrel mix in there? Yes, but never. If they put the age statement on it,
Can't be any
not,
younger.
Not one barrel younger than 10 can be in that bottle. Right. So those are important. But this is, if I was talking about the pairing here of the two, this flavor is just so big, it goes above the cigar. I mean,
Yeah.
it just rides right above it in that, but in a good way. The McKenna, which I didn't know about, and did a little digging. So the McKenna name came from to pay homage or whatever tribute to a McKenna. It was an Irish whiskey guy, and he was using he adapted part of his recipe to making whiskey, not bourbon, to this, and kind of that play on that. So there is a reason, a rhyme or reason behind the McKenna name, as you so to speak. But this one, this is like 78% on the corn, which is a good high corn. It's a 10% rye. So the last week we had our mash build was rye, corn, rye, malted barley. This is the same one, but if you'll kind of think back to last week's podcast and you take a sip of this, you understand the value of the younger stuff we had last week, which was the, what did we have last week? Somebody help me out.
Dang, Charlie, I've slept since then.
I'm
Mary, what we have last week?
Last week?
Yeah,
Oh,
Gosh,
it wasn't Elijah Craig.
It was
small
so-
batch.
Yeah, it was toast.
toasted.
Elijah Craig toasted.
The Elijah
Thank
Craig
you.
toasted. Same mash bill, almost exact same mash bill. That's another Heaven Hill product, right? And here we are now, McKenna, almost the same mash bill, 10-year-old. Flavors very bold, 100 proof. Elijah Craig wasn't 100 proof either. It was 94.
Right,
94.
94. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you get a lot of this. When you first sip, you get a big sweetness. You get it's just reminiscent bourbon. Great caramel, a great vanilla. But the finish, after you take that sip and it sits there a minute, it really gives you, you get the hints of the oakiness. The things they do a good job of with this McKenna is sometimes you get those older ones that's 10, 12-year-old stuff at all. It gets over oaked because it's been the barrel sometimes, but somehow they've got we talked a little bit about the barrel char levels and things of that
Right.
nature. So they worked it out. They know where that sweet spot is, so that 10 years not going to get over oaky. They probably know where the barrel placement needs to be in the rick houses and all that kind of stuff. And they have that mad formula they do. And so, but this is the one that this was forever and ever. 'Cause nobody looked at it, nobody paid attention to it because it was at the $30 price point, and they're like, it can't be that good at 30.
Right.
Right. But now, yeah, it's like the allocated list.
Right, and it's worth every penny.
Oh God, $50 is still a bargain for that.
It really is. That first taste, you don't even get that shock the palate taste. Like my first taste of this today was just pure, like maple. Like it was so good. I just got that cherry maple
Okay.
sort of blend there.
Okay.
And if you retrohale this cigar, it really complements that fruity bouquet of the bourbon. Like if you take a sip and then you retrohale this cigar, it's not a tough one to retrohale. I mean, it's not a lot of pepper in there. It's not a lot of spice going on in this cigar. But
Right.
you just bring it through, and it's like, man, I don't know what it is about when certain cigars, when you retrohale it, it really brings out that bouquet. It's like tulips or lilacs. It's just coming out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's really.
So
it's nice.
let me offer in case people are just tuning in. Maybe there's somebody maybe you're not used to. I'd like to share this piece, and maybe you're just not the neat drinker. You know, you don't drink your bourbons neat. You still haven't developed that. So here's the tip I always like to give people: is when you first get that first sip, get just about the size of an M&M. Kind of hold it on the tongue for a moment. Make that swallow, but as soon as you do, blow it out.
Right.
And do that for the first couple times, and that really helps you if you're just not a neat drinker. Even if you are, sometimes the first sip of the day be a little bit overpowering. But if you at least you always take that sip and blow out, it does help dissipate some of that initial burn until your palate gets adjusted for.
Right.
And this is 100 proof, so it's
Exactly.
not quite as needed probably at 80, 80 to 90 proof, maybe not quite, but you start getting 100 proofs, it's a little burn there.
It is, but I think again, a little dash of water, a little ice cube, bring it down to 90, 95. I think you're going to get a little more of that sweetness that you're going to notice, because you're not going to notice the burn as much, right? So you get that flavor profile that comes out.
Now, this particular glass that we were drinking out of, what does this do for the flavor of this particular drink? First of all, what's this called?
So this is just a little taster.
Okay.
It's called a Mackenzie taster is the actual name of it. There's the Glencairn
Right.
whiskey glasses.
I've heard
So-
that before.
So it had a little more rounder, and it comes up maybe just a little bit narrow. It's not really for the flavor on the palate. It's really for a nosing. So when you're looking for the smells, and you really want to work on the smell part of it, it helps hold if you will, it kind of caresses the flavor, the aromas, and holds it to the middle. Other than a rock glass. Rock glass is just big open and
Okay.
just kind of escapes away.
So it narrows at the top
Right.
from the body,
Right.
and you can concentrate.
Yes, thank you.
It concentrates the scent for you.
Thank
the
you.
vapors together.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
And again, because of that narrowing, we don't want to encourage it. Don't really. And you see a lot of folks on there. I don't do it right off until I can understand where I'm at with it. But just don't go right off the bat and dive your nose way in there and take big sniffs.
Okay.
Always keep it away a little bit. I always try to encourage people at our tasting events is hold it to a level 3 or 4 inches away and let the aromas come to your nose instead of taking your nose into there.
Okay.
Because you know your natural instinct is the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All you
Oh,
gonna
I
do
gotta
is eat them.
smell this.
all you're gonna do is eat them.
I'm gonna get down here and just.
And
I'm
then
gonna
the other thing, Charlie, remember,
Yeah.
they're gonna do that. All
Yeah,
that does,
and
that
I
doesn't help.
I don't like to agitate it either as much as there's
Now,
another.
a red wine, okay, you're gonna get more out of the red wine. You smell the red wine. You're gonna twirl it a little bit. No, with the bourbon, you gotta let it sit.
And you can do some really cool things if you really want to get kind of funny with it. Just you can kind of roll it around and let the bourbon kind of roll up on the glass and then set it down. And so that right there just opens up a whole lot of flavor. And then
Oh, really?
you can kind of
Okay.
bring your nose up to it slowly.
All right, so I gotta change the subject. We're on the bourbon,
All right.
still on the bourbon, but I want to change the bourbon we're talking about. I have found another bourbon. My daughter gave me for my birthday a bottle of Breckenridge Special Reserve.
Ooh. It's a Colorado brand. Yeah.
So I have had the Powder House, the Special Reserve, the Spiced. I've had just about every one of their bourbons. Okay, so been to Breckenridge, went through their tasting. I bought 4 bottles. This is new. So the Reserve came out this year, and she sent it to me, and I just got it's a low APV, like it is 85%.
Right.
But the tasting notes off of this, I mean, it was like pecans and just flavorful. I mean, it was just I don't have the words to explain the taste in this bourbon. So I tried it yesterday evening. It was phenomenal. It's the first time I've opened the bottle.
Okay.
I really hadn't let it breathe yet. I've actually decided I'm gonna decant this bottle. It is so good.
All right.
So it's the way I work. I only decant the ones that are my favorites. The one I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pour. You know,
All right.
at the end of the day, just get a little drink. The others that are maybe like a Knob
that
Creek 15, that's it. A Knob Creek 15, Macallan 15, Macallan 18. All of those I usually leave bottled, and I leave them on the shelf. Of course, Macallan is Scotch, but you know, I've got a number of 15 and 18 and 21-year-olds that are up there, but that's special occasion stuff, you know. In a decanter, I'm going to put Knob Creek, I'm going to put Buffalo Trace, and something like this. So I try to label them right because
Okay.
I mean, I could probably smell it and taste it, but I've got 3 different decanters. Over the years, I've just collected them, and people know I drink bourbon, so what do you buy a guy who, you know, you can't think of what to get them a decanter? So,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know, but to me, that just makes it your everyday. I mean, I probably never get that again unless I go to Breckenridge and buy it up. You know, we're going to search the North Carolina ABC system to see if it's available, but I'm telling you, it's special. I can't wait for
Really?
you guys to taste that. It is really good.
Okay.
So, interesting thought there. So, I had to go. I'm not familiar, so I had to go get some ninja that a little bit and get some intel on that. So it is a blend of some of their distillate with some non-disclosed distillates.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't look
it's a blend.
it up.
No, it's a reserve blend. It's
Yeah.
a blend of bourbon whiskeys or bourbons, and so they're making, and so they disclose what their distillate mash bill is. So interesting. So I knew you would probably. It's like Brian's all over it. So the distillate there in their piece is a 56 corn, 38% rye. So big rye. So
Yeah.
you get a lot of that rye flavor
Oh my
profile
God,
in there.
it was phenomenal.
So and yeah, so 86 proof.
And I've noticed as we've kind of gone through this process over the last couple of years is I'm a rye guy.
Yeah.
I just gravitate to Knob Creek Rye, Elijah Craig, thanks to Talon, Uncle Nearest Rye. I mean, you know, I can go down Sagamore Rye. We're going to double barrel. We're going to have next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have the Sagamore coming up. These are my favorites, and it's just I gravitate to that taste. That's my palate, and I really enjoy it.
I'm starting to get involved with the Elijah Craig rye. I just bought a bottle last weekend, and I'm starting to let it fill me out.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying it. And I got a small bottle to see if I could deal with it. I do. I like it.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about Elijah Craig quite often, I think, in Knob Creek and Woodford. But they've become the staples of bourbon to me. You know, I mean, not going to rob your pocketbook.
Right.
Very good value, mid-30s,
Right.
you know,
Right.
somewhere in there. And just, you can do it every day. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just that type of bourbon that is enjoyable. You're not breaking the pocketbook, and you've got a good quality bourbon.
It's good pours.
Yeah.
I asked my wife last night, "Do you need me for anything?" No, I don't need you. Why? You leave
See
it?
ya.
I'm like, no. I just held up the bottle. Do you need me for anything? Okay.
You better tell me now.
Yeah.
I'm not cutting the grass.
Okay,
So
well,
what's Luther? You got the question of the day, right?
Yes, I do.
What is the question of the day?
Wait, first let me tell you the answer.
Oh yeah, we're on
Tell
Johnny
you the
Carson.
answer.
I love it.
The answer to this question is in a phone booth during a hurricane.
There you go. In a phone booth during a hurricane. That's Ed McMahon. That's the best imitation I can do.
All right, and the question is, strangest place you've smoked a cigar?
In a hurricane.
Telephone
In a
booth.
telephone booth in a hurricane.
Wow.
That would be. What a great answer. You didn't have any idea what the question was.
No.
That is really good.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
really
just
good
picking
because
it out
that
of
would
the
be
air.
a strange place. So I have to think about this for a minute. The strangest. You know, normally you pick vacation or you know what I mean. Has anybody got an answer for their strangest
Gosh.
place?
Everything has been kind of normal. I can't think of a strange place I've had.
I can think of like memorable places that I
Yes,
smoked a
yeah.
cigar.
I mean,
You know, the Andalusia Bowl, my daughter's wedding.
or that
My
little place
son's
you
wedding.
went to out in Colorado, that little shack.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
that
yeah.
not strange, but that's got to be unique, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Remote desert in Afghanistan.
The what?
Remote mountain desert in Afghanistan.
A remote mountain desert in Afghanistan.
Mountaintop.
Yeah.
Mountaintop.
That's
Derek Smith, ladies and gentlemen,
That's
thank you
ex-
for his service.
That's exotic. That's
We got a
exotic.
seal in our presence. Huh? I did.
I don't say
I do it
all
for
that.
you.
Weirdest time I smoked one was cutting grass for my father
T, hand me another cigar.
on his riding lawnmower the day he realized I smoked cigars.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So I'm driving it. I'm riding it. I'm puffing. And shoot. And he's standing outside looking like, I can't believe my son has gray hair on his chin and smoking a cigar. God
Good
bless
one.
his soul. He's going to be with the Lord now. But
Bless him.
I will always remember that.
Great memory. It's awesome.
I know T's got to have some strange place she's had a cigar.
Other than the hideout with all the nature and the animals.
Possum. Squirrel.
What's the strange? That might be even a better question. What is the strangest visitor you've had while you've been smoking a cigar?
Coyote.
Coyote.
A coyote.
I mean,
Get the hideout.
she's-
Go across the street.
She's got the regular zoo down there with her. She's got the deer, the rabbits, the
And the
coyotes.
antelope play.
Yeah.
My strangest visitor while smoking a cigar was my sister. She's human, but you know, you get it.
So, I was smoking a cigar in the car while we were riding through the National Armory in Denver,
Okay.
and this is where you go to find buffalo, deer, prairie dogs. It's a former artillery range
Or they find you.
for the army, right? And it's been turned into a preserve for these animals.
All right.
So we're riding along down this road, and here comes a herd of buffalo. Everybody stop. You know, buffalo are bigger than your car. I mean, they're big.
Big.
And when they want to cross the road,
Stop.
they cross the road. I mean, they don't like to look both ways and go ahead, sir. No, they're coming across. And there were like 20 of them. And
Wow.
that was I mean, literally from me to you, in front of my car,
Okay.
walking across. One of them wanted to get a little bit frisky, and she wasn't in the mood.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Which we were like, well, let's get some barbecue and get busy. I thinking, all right, wheels up, let's go. But she wasn't in the process, so we moved on. But that was cool. I mean, watching the buffalo come across, and that was awesome. That was beautiful.
Wow. Wow.
In the background, you got the Rockies in the background, right? I got a video of this.
I was asking, could
Oh,
I ask
yeah,
you
yeah.
any pictures?
Yeah, yeah. But I got the one. He's trying to get a little frisky. It didn't work out for him, but I got him. I got him on camera. He's embarrassed, but
Ah,
What do you think? 7 feet tall at the shoulder, you think?
some of them.
they're big.
More average would be 5 to 6 feet.
Okay.
There were a couple calves that were there. Obvious, who the bulls are. I mean, it's obvious who's in charge, which is not the bulls. It's the mamas.
Okay.
It's nature. Same with us. It ain't no different.
Right.
But they are just incredible animals, just massive. Just lumbering along, baby. Taking it all in.
Jeez.
It's beautiful.
Oh well.
Now, the other time, it was still in Denver, so they had where I could see 4 peaks that were over 14,000 feet. And we were at, it's the National Oceanic Observatory atmospheric observatory. So they monitor atmospheric conditions and pressure and all that. And you're up about 9,000 feet above sea level. And then you're looking at these 4 mountaintops that are snow-capped. Still, I mean, this was in May. We went for my birthday, Mother's Day, and all that. And so I see that, and my wife and daughter had gone on down the trail, and I'm sitting on this bench, and I start playing John Denver, Rocky Mountain High. I mean, what am I going to play?
Right.
And I lit up a cigar, and I'm like, life doesn't get any better than this.
Nice, man. That's a nice memory. That's nice.
Well, I have pictures of those too. We could share those. They're
It's beautiful out there.
it's just there's no way that you can put that God created beauty into words or pictures. Doesn't tell the story.
Mammoth Lake's the same way.
What's that?
What is it?
Mammoth Lake's California is the exact same way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's two of the premier ski resorts is Steamboat in Colorado and Mammoth Lakes, California. People come from Denver to Mammoth to ski.
Now, on the map, where is Mammoth?
Mammoth?
Yeah.
Mammoth is
North?
up near Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
So it's where he's 14,000 feet above sea level. The top of Mammoth Lake, the mountain, is 11,000 feet above sea level.
Which is the same as about Breckenridge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about the same there.
Wow.
So I took the gondola I rode the gondola to the top of the mountain, and just to video that and see that is insane, absolutely insane.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I posted on Instagram, and people were like, my cousin and his wife, they all ski, and it was like that view and everything. It was like, we'd love to go out there. I'm like, y'all have fun. God ain't give me no breaks. I'm not skiing. Hell, I was walking down the street and fed. You know I ain't getting on no damn skis.
It's
But-
easy to do out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very easy.
Okay.
It snowed so much. We had the year I was in Mammoth, they had record snowfall. It snowed 37 feet on the mountain.
We don't even get 3.7 inches.
Right. So y'all know I lost my mind when I was out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
When I came back to Charlotte and went to work, everybody was like, "How was Alaska?" I said, "I don't know. I wasn't there." I was like, "Well, you was in all that snow." I said, "I was in Mammoth Lakes, California."
And what month were you there?
I landed December 18th,
Okay.
and I flew out on between April 4th and April 6th.
All right. All right.
But out there, it snows from October to they close the last ski slope in August. I still keep in touch with the supervisor out there. She said it snows every year, Mother's Day. Every year, it snows on Mother's Day.
Well, that's all good, and it's a great place
Send
to
me
visit.
the pictures.
Yeah.
I ain't going
I ain't,
there.
I ain't living there.
You living there?
I know, absolutely not.
Oh my God.
Absolutely not.
It's open smoking barrel west
No,
out
sir.
there.
Luther,
Huh?
I'll give you everything you need to go out there except money. You just go on out there and do it. That is all you.
Brother.
We give you shirts
weird-
and everything.
What's weird is cigars.
Yeah?
You can barely find it out there.
Really?
Barely,
Cigar tax.
barely.
Oh,
cigar
it
tax
eats-
is
eats-
outrageous. It's outrageous. I was having people ship me cigars.
Hence, why are you going to charge that kind of tax when you know everybody's going to get them through the mail?
Right.
Right. You're not really stopping it.
Box it up in a regular box. Ain't nobody going to know what's in it.
There are in Mammoth there are no cigar lounges.
That's impressive. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's
I didn't
that?
know
Y'all remember the percentage? It's really high. It's like over 50%
Yeah.
tax. Here, 30 cents, 0.30 is the max tax on any cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks
They're
to
talking about
CRA.
over 50% of the cost of a cigar.
Right.
50%.
So if I buy a $10 cigar, it costs me $15 because of the tax.
Absolutely.
A $20 placencia.
Mm-hmm.
30 bucks. Yep. New York,
I would stand
Same way.
outside. It was so bad.
Some stadium pricing right
In the
there.
hotel we stayed in,
Uh-huh.
the guy at the hotel went to the store, went to the hardware store, went to the hardware store, bought two chairs and a small table and set it in the parking deck so I could smoke cigars.
Huh. Huh.
Oh man.
Wow.
Well-
Where else has high tax on cigars? New York, California, but tobacco period.
Yeah.
Chicago? What do you think?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think Chicago's that. I don't think Chicago's
so,
that.
yeah, I bet it is. I'll tell you what, we'll just look it up right here.
We have the
Illinois.
devices.
Mm-hmm.
We'll check that out.
Google eyes.
Google eyes. Well, I'm going to tell you while he's checking that out, it wasn't 14,000 feet high. It wasn't 11,000 high. But Troy and I were on a trip this past weekend, sitting on a picnic bench, Smoky Mountain ranges in the background,
Yeah.
Lake Kiowie's in the foreground, and we were having coffee and some bourbon cream. And the only thing I didn't have cigars with me. I didn't do cigars with this group, but
Troy's your son?
No,
No.
Troy from Tango.
Oh,
Whiskey
okay.
Tango. He's
Okay.
the Tango.
You know Mr.
No,
Clean.
Mr. Clean. with the-
Mr.
Okay.
Clean.
All
Mr.
right.
Clean.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you should have
bet.
seen the pictures. That was just.
Oh.
Was just disgusting.
we're not going to talk about the food we ate. 'Cause
Sit up.
that,
They're gonna have to know to videotape this, Luther, and send it to me. And
Because
Santa
they love
Claus in the boat in the middle of the lake.
Because they love you. It was from love. I know it was from love.
we did. We said, here, let me send this to Steve.
It doesn't hit.
And brought Miss Pam in and she narrating the video. Huh?
All right,
More video?
all right, y'all ready for this?
Disgusting.
Illinois.
Highest taxes.
All right. New York taxes all cigars at 75% of the wholesale price. This compares to rates of 50% Connecticut, 40% in Massachusetts, 30% New Jersey, 15% in Delaware and Maryland, and in the state of, and in Pennsylvania, a state that don't have that one. All right, so, oh, yeah, by far. All right, I'm going to get California's, and you're like, what?
So
What
I'ma
is
tell you
going
this.
on?
People talk shit about North Carolina. But our taxes on cigars ain't nowhere near as high as anybody else.
Now, two. Yeah. Luther, we were doing a chef. I made, what is he? I can't call me that.
California is 52.75% of the manufacturer's sales price. So if you remember, the other one were wholesale price. So yeah, there you go. There you go.
So-
we live in a very, very
I'm gonna give you one picture to look at.
Okay.
This is gonna ruin you.
Okay.
Just gonna ruin you right now. I'm just gonna warn you.
Now, I'm a little hungry now.
Listen.
So we came up with this idea, and Troy and I had this thing. So we had some fresh peaches. It's just peach season, right? Fresh peaches.
You shouldn't have brought it up.
Right.
You
We
shouldn't have brought it up.
we wrapped them. I wrapped them, sliced them. Got peach
Right,
slices, fresh. Wrapped it in bacon, put it in the smoker, and I smoked it.
That's sin.
that is
blasphemy.
cruel and unusual
I
punishment.
can't believe you just pulled that out.
All I could do was go yum. I
Here-
mean,
I ain't even answer.
I-
I ain't even answer, man.
it was an embarrassment of riches.
Right.
And they do it right, and I'm still waiting for my invitation, but
Oh
You
no,
know-
no. We ain't waiting for no invitation.
Hey,
We already
I'm
said it.
prepping.
Why not
Look,
just come
I
here?
am prepping for the smoke out.
Smoke out that smoking barrel.
See,
That's what we have.
I'm
We're
prepping.
coming up.
I'm getting
Smoke
ready.
out.
It's in October, right? We're gonna do the
I gotta
smoke
get
out.
I gotta get my dishes prepared.
Okay,
make sure
that's
I.
fine. Let me be the tester.
Yep.
I
So
will test.
Hey, this is the bad thing. We ain't bringing no food truck. We ain't having no food truck. Charlie got to bring the motorhome.
and this is a lifetime member only event.
Lifetime member only event.
I'm saying it loud. Lifetime only event for our lifetime members sitting at the bar.
I can't wait. We're gonna plan it. It's gonna be awesome.
The smoke out at Smoking Barrel in October.
We'll get a date put
Put
out.
it on there. So to finish out the tax
Oh, tax.
conversation.
Let's go.
I'm very, very distraught about this one. Colorado.
Okay.
So y'all remember when I got back from Colorado and I went to our buddy's Palamas cigar place, a wonderful place, great. Their tobacco tax, cigar tax, 50% of their manufacturer's list price. So that explains a lot to me,
Okay.
because the prices that were on the shelf included tax.
Okay.
So it wasn't when you checked out; they just included it. Under the tax increases through 2027 when it reaches 62%.
They're going to cap it at 62.
Well, as of this measure, they could, do other
Well, how
things.
nice
but
of them.
Yeah, well, they're sweet. They're nice. We're 30 cents.
I gotta,
30 cents per cigar.
I gotta believe that the cannabis tax is higher than that. Out there.
Charles, would you like to know what the cannabis tax
Look.
is?
They got some revenue coming in, just saying.
Revenue. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Well, not as bad as you'd think. It's a sales tax that
Sales
they
tax.
do on it. And, hold on a second. Medical marijuana is subject to a 2.9% state sales tax. The 15% retail and 15% excise tax is exempt from the spending limits for that. But those 15% are on regular cannabis, like not medical. So medical, they have a lower
Lower
sales tax on it.
Oh, sales tax. Wow.
So they don't have it as a excise or tobacco tax in that area.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
You go out there, you don't smoke cigars. You go.
Right. It's much more pleasurable to smoke cigars in North Carolina. But you're not going to find a better place than Smoking Barrel.
Well, there you go.
Right here in Mount Holly, North Carolina.
So Charles, let me tell you about the GTG weekend that we've had. I'm still recovering slightly.
Where were you guys at this week?
So Greenville had their
South Carolina, North Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina
There you go.
had their hook day. Their chapter had their hook day / anniversary.
Yes, indeed.
We had
Uh-oh.
some executive members come down from DC.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
So we had the executive deputy mayor, Smooth B. We had a deputy mayor from Patterson, New Jersey, and we had a sergeant at arms from DC to come down and visit. So that was Friday and Friday night. Saturday, we initiated a new chapter, which encompassed Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point. So they are the Piedmont Triad chapter.
Oh, nice.
They were initiated on Saturday.
In Greenville.
In
No.
High Point.
Oh,
No.
in High Point.
They had to drive 3.5 hours.
So
to
you
go
were
to
at
that one.
Greenville, then you went up. Oh, wow.
So it was an eventful weekend. We had Triad chapter had, and which Damon, he watches our podcast.
Right.
We call it Carolina Cigar Boy. Made his speech and was like,
You doing
He-
Chris or Damon?
Damon,
Okay.
he made it known. He go to a lot of GTG events. He was part of Concord, but he's now deputy mayor of Triad. He made it a point to recognize each chapter that came for his event or their event. And when I tell you we came from everywhere, We had Miami,
Wow.
Atlanta, Charleston,
Wow.
Greenville,
Wow.
Charlotte, Concord, and Gaston.
Nice. Wow.
Maryland, Brandywine, Maryland. To meet, we're all in a group text and we talk to each other back and forth, but just to get to actually meet the deputy mayor from another chapter from almost everywhere is insane. It's absolutely insane. And when you walk up, when you walk in the door and you got that GTG shirt on and it tells you what chapter you from, it's like a worldwide family reunion.
And the enormity of it, the gravity of it, doesn't hit you until you go to an event
Right.
like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. People that we talk back and forth with, they recognize your name. It's like, I'm so glad to finally meet you. Like, it's like no other.
Right.
It's absolutely not no other. Florence. Florence was there. Florence, South Carolina.
Wonderful.
Florence Hook Day is coming up in November. So I'm going to talk to Gaston tonight and the next couple weeks. And we got to take a group to Florence to help them celebrate. It was just unreal. This is the first time that I've been to Sutherland's Cigar Lounge. Really nice lounge.
What city was it in? Greensboro?
High Point.
High Point.
Yeah,
All right.
High Point. And I actually gave the owner our 3rd anniversary cigar.
Good.
Yeah. So we just to see them, be around them, and know that we can reach out was unreal. It was absolutely unreal.
Well, the networking opportunities that
God.
you get and
Absolutely.
ideas
Oh,
that
my
you can
God.
glean from them,
Absolutely.
it's really invaluable. You can't
Yeah.
put a price on that, and the relationships that you build. So the next time you go, man, I've already met you, so now we're starting on another level
Right.
Yeah.
of our relationship,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
That's
So
really
I was
nice.
able to go down to the Hook Day for Greenville on Friday.
Great.
Met great people.
Yeah.
Hats off. I want to say hello. Shout out to Bishop, who is the deputy mayor of the Greenville chapter. Great person to know. He has his own line of cigars called the Bishop. I was able to smoke that one. Enjoyed it.
Great.
Yeah, had a great time in Greenville.
As we develop this show, we need to pull these guys in and start doing some remote interviews.
Oh yeah,
and
that
just
would be great.
Zoom
Yeah.
call, whatever we do to get it on our show, just to talk cigar business. Because every area has its challenges and every area
Sure.
has its opportunities and successes. It's always good to hear from another cigar, whether it's a bar owner, a cigar line owns its own cigar line, whatever it is. We share experiences because you're going to learn something.
So, as an owner yourself, what has been your greatest success or joy about Smoke and Barrel so far?
I would definitely say that the family atmosphere that has been created. So we created the lifetime membership program, and what brought with that and the feedback that I get from our members is, we feel ownership. We feel a part of this. We feel a part of the success that has been displayed here, and we're all in this together.
Right.
Whenever I get feedback, it is always constructive. It's never critical. It is, hey, have you ever thought about this? Or, hey, I just want to let you know this is something that I think you should look at. It's always positive, and those interactions as a business owner are welcomed. We get, and I, knock on wood, our rating is over 4.8 after 3 years on Google. That is something that you're not just getting. And our staff has earned that. But our members are the ones that do it.
Right.
And that, for me, is the job satisfaction that I get from coming to the bar every day. Because when I come, I'm going to see several people that I've known for 3 years. And I'm going to see people, and we get an opportunity to fellowship and be together. And that's what, to me, is the biggest success of our
Okay.
bar. I hate to call it a bar because it is technically a bar, but it's really a social gathering place of many different people across many different lines.
Right.
You could take, whether it's economic, social, diversity, ethnicity, you get it all. And everybody is accepted.
Yes.
Our members accept everybody here.
Yes.
It's very inclusive.
Yes.
And that makes us fairly unique when you start talking about what you see at other businesses, right? I think that a place that we can all gather together in harmony is unique.
Yes.
And I think that I know we are proud of that.
Yes.
Yep.
And to piggyback off that, Brian, so Greenville's, they were meeting at Cigar Experience in Greenville Friday night. So I walk in the humidor and I'm looking around, and I talked to Bishop for a little bit. So I ended up speaking to Boss, who actually owns the lounge. And I told him, I said, when you get a minute, we need to go inside the humidor.
Right.
So we go in the humidor, and I told him, Boss, by no means do I know everything, but what I know, I'm going to share.
Right.
So I told him, hey, do this, this, and this. See how that works for you. Take this, move it here. And so you separating like we separated ours. We got our flavor humidor over here, and we got our traditional cigars in here. He has one humidor. Take this middle section, put it on the end. Okay? Put all your brands together.
Right.
That way you're not searching.
Right.
You got people going back and forth.
Right.
Put it together, see how that works for you. And I told him, anytime, at any time you have any question,
Sure.
you think I can help you, call me. Exchange contact information. Because even though that's another cigar lounge, I want you to succeed.
Yep.
Just like we succeed.
Right.
And him being a member of GTG, that makes it, I'm even more invested.
Sure.
Because now, you know, as we say in GTG, that's my cousin.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you have to, in order for everybody to have a part and be invested, you have to make sure, hey, make sure they're taken care of. You know, I tell people all the time at work, oh, T, I watched the podcast. I said, oh, you see me and Brian arguing? It's like, yeah, y'all argue all the time. I say, we have to.
Well, we're brothers and sisters.
You know,
Brother and sister will argue, but don't mess with us.
right,
Don't be coming at one of us. You got both of us.
right. Even when I'm at the house with Mama Huff, if I go visit Brian and Mama Huff, you know, she'll walk out the room, we'll start arguing. She come back in the room, we stop arguing real quick.
We don't argue. We have a great conversation.
We have a discussion.
We have a spirited discussion.
Spirited discussion.
Yes.
There we go.
And she walks in and go, what y'all doing is nothing.
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 Honey, we're good. I'm
We're
going to go
good.
get us some tea.
Right.
We'll be good. Hey, guys, what a great show.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad we're able to have it today with all the challenges that we face. But we're all here. We're excited to be here. We're happy. And couldn't think of a better place to be right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Luther,
Yes.
what's the best cigar you're having
The
today?
one I'm having with my home folk right here, right now.
The Riddler said it. You heard him.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Salute.